Good morning, everyone. How are you? I am here again today to talk about being you. I just see all the time so many things that are telling us there's more. There's more. There's more that we could do. There's more classes that we could take. There's more that we need to get out as a post. More that let's go use this other social media site. I notice my lipstick looks a little crooked there, so I guess you're going to have to deal with that because I'm going to have to deal with it. So when we are being us or you have to really own all the assets that you already have. Good morning. And you want to repackage those maybe. So there's that old expression, never throw the baby out with the bathwater. And you're the baby. So if you are starting into a new business, you've got an entrepreneurial glee in your body, your eyes, you just really want to get something done, you may need to take a look at all the things that you've done in your life and then have somebody else who's in a neutral position help you reframe those adventures. So what do I mean by this? So many times we have been culturized, and I'm going to use this word culturized. It's how you've been raised. It's how the experiences you have, and you've been set to see them through a certain lens. But you really have to make sure, is that lens your lens or is that somebody else's lens? So when we're working for other people and they give us job descriptions and they give us job titles, and I've been in many, many workplaces where somebody says, I'm just this. Well, you are not just anything. That was somebody else's program to identify what it is they wanted you to do for them. It was not a full use of your capabilities, your art, your skills, your life experiences. It was all they wanted you to do at that one point in time for that particular thing that needed to be done, achieved, or maintained. That's it. That's all it is. So sometimes if you start identifying only with your job, it's going to stop you from becoming that entrepreneur that you want to be. So you have to be you. So you want to go back and you want to assess all those fun things you did as a kid, things you got rewarded for and applauded for. And if you were loud and you were assertive and you were out there, have you given that up? Have you given that up? Have you decided at some point, because of either input that you got or input you created, that that's not appropriate? It's time to be you. Because if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to be you. You are not sitting there with a filter that is somebody else's filter. And there's this term out there in the world today called mindset. But I like to use the words reframe and filter because your mindset has to be ready to do a self-assessment. And if you don't even have the mindset called self-assessment, so that you can kind of clean the dust bunnies out of your closet of thoughts, then mindset shifts may not take place because they'll be battling against what's already in the closet. Did you ever think about it that way? So if you've got old experiences that you framed as bad experiences, you want a mentor to help you take those experiences, so a mentor listens to how you're framing those experiences. And then they pose questions back to you like, is that really where you want? No, a mentor isn't a therapist. A mentor helps you get into appropriate, proper doing. So in other words, a lot of times when we're in self-doubt, we just keep doing things that we think are going to get us somewhere. And all they do is start stuffing who we are in here because we're doing something in the framework of somebody else's formula, somebody else's pattern. Now, there's a lot of formulas out there that are good, but you got to flow in and out of them. You got to be like the tide. You got to ebb and flow and get a little little of your own grace in the picture. And I know this sounds a little esoteric this morning, but what I'm realizing more and more as I look at the people who are stressed with trying to market themselves on Facebook and in LinkedIn is they're all sticking to a structure. And every once in a while, you see their personality kind of peek through, but you don't see enough of their personality peek through because they all want to be advisors. They want to be known as experts. I want to be known as an expert questioner, and I'm going to question you enough so that you can pop open whatever it is that you've not seen yet about yourself, that you've not implemented about yourself, that you've not put into play. And you can call it whatever you want. So I'm going to give you an example. Here's what I see. So I had a conversation with somebody the other day and was frustrated that marketing on Facebook wasn't working. And then I went out and looked, and even though there's not a specific product, it's always about, I have this, meaning I hope you want it. I have this. This is what I do. This is what I have. So when you say those kind of things in your posts, what's occurring is that people go, well, I don't want that today. I don't want that today. It'd be like walking down the grocery aisle. And I've done this. See, I have these videos so that I can learn too. So as they're walking down this path, down this aisleway in the grocery store, they go, I don't need that today. I don't need that today. I don't need that today. So as everybody's going through Facebook, they're all going, I don't need that today. 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 So now, what's your option? That's where you have to start going back and say, I had this experience. Have you ever had this experience? What did you find as your solution? I found this solution the other day. Or, wow, I learned this while I was doing this. People need to see you as a resource, not as the end-all be-all. Well, I know I've never been the end-all be-all because I've got some great people in my life that every once in a while when I'm sounding like I'm the end-all be-all, they kind of bring me up short, let me see who I am. And I realize that I'm not being me at the time, that I'm being the answer for somebody. What I want to be is your provoker, your provocateur, the person who says, well, that's one way to look at it. How about this way? So when you are not being you, a mentor can see that. I've got a great mentor and she sees when I'm not being me. Or when I'm trying too hard to implement a strategy that works for somebody else, but it's not going to work for me because it's not my style. It's like, it would be like putting on my shoes on the wrong feet. You actually can do a lot of social media marketing or try to do social media marketing, but it would be like putting your left shoe on the right foot and your right shoe on the left foot. It's just not for you. So there are a lot of platform options out there. There are a lot of skills used. And so what a mentor is going to do for you is to show you where you can find those skills and how do those interpret into the systems that already exist, as opposed to running around and saying, I don't have a system, therefore I need. Now, then you can always get a skill tune-up. I mean, you got to think about it. I was thinking the other day how long it's been since I used to be on the phone 8 to 10 hours a day, receiving sales calls and making sales on a daily basis. And that's an energy shift that I would have a hard time going back to now. Do I have the skill? Yes, I have the skill. But what do I want to take away from that skill? Or what I want to take away from is that it's a doable skill, but it doesn't fit my lifestyle now. It's not, I would not be being me if I went back to do that. So I'm a little bit rambly here this morning, but I want to say that there's a lot of people looking out there for safe. There's a lot of you looking out for the right answer. And I want you to know that when you are being you, safe will show up. The right answer will show up. But what you've got to do is to really understand, are you looking so far outside of yourself for the what it's going to be to get you to that next stage in your life and your prosperity, that you're absolutely ignoring who you already are. If you already are powerful in some areas, I want you to do a self-assessment. I want you to write those down. I want you to get on board with what it is that you're going to do to help yourself. I want you to back up, and I want you to remember, who were you before you learned that stuff? How can you talk about your pain, your confusion, and how do you bring that in to show somebody your answer? And then how do you show somebody that, hey, you might be the person for them, but you're not necessarily the person for them, to help them take whatever that one next step is forward into their great opportunity to increase their business, to improve their skills, and to bring in that income that they'd like to have. So if you're not being you, you're trying to be somebody else, you're trying to fit a formula, then you want to just hit successwithmarla.com and see if I can help you out. Also, you want to go out and subscribe to my YouTube channel, go back and listen to a few of my videos and see if that's going to work for you. But when you do hit successwithmarla.com, you're going to get my newsletter. And I got to tell you that I keep up the conversation and keep poking, because one of these days I'm going to find something that resonates for you. And when it resonates for you, that's when you'll get a hold of me. So I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.